Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on our deep dives into psychology and self-awareness. Today, we're going to discuss something a lot of people don't like to talk about: the subtle signs that someone close to you might secretly harbor negative feelings, even hate, towards you. Now it's a tough pill to swallow, especially when it's someone you trust, a friend, family member, or even a partner. But the truth is, people sometimes hide their true feelings. And in today's world, especially with social dynamics becoming more complex, it's important to know how to recognize these signs. But before we dive into it, let's be clear. If you spot any of these signs, it doesn't necessarily mean someone hates you. They might be going through personal struggles, or there could be misunderstandings. But by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how to navigate these tricky situations. The first major sign that someone close to you might secretly harbor negative feelings is a sudden shift in their behavior towards you. It's almost like a switch is flipped. One day they're warm and friendly, and the next they're distant, cold, or even avoidant. This could manifest in a variety of ways. Maybe they stop texting you back as quickly, or they start giving you one-word responses when you try to engage. Conversations that once felt natural and easy suddenly become awkward and forced. It's like they've built an invisible wall between you and them. So, why does this happen? Psychology suggests that people may withdraw from others for a number of reasons. Sometimes it's not hatred, but a defense mechanism. They might be struggling with internal issues, jealousy, or frustration that they don't know how to express. But in some cases, it could also be a sign that they've simply lost interest in the relationship and may not have the courage to address it directly. Now, let's dive into the realm of body language. Have you ever noticed someone close to you using subtle nonverbal cues that make you feel uncomfortable? Things like rolling their eyes, crossing their arms when you talk, or avoiding eye contact can all be signs that they're not happy around you. Body language speaks volumes, and, according to psychology experts, these cues often reveal a person's true emotions, even if their words don't match. For example, when someone rolls their eyes during your conversation, it's not just a simple reflex, it's often a sign of irritation or disdain. Similarly, crossing arms can indicate defensiveness or even disconnection from the conversation. If you notice these behaviors often, especially when you're speaking to them about something important, it's a clear indication that they might not be as supportive as they appear. Let's talk about another common sign: backhanded compliments. This is when someone seems to compliment you, but the words have an underlying insult or judgment. For example, "Wow, I didn't know you were capable of something like this," or "You look really good today for once." On the surface, it may seem like they're giving you praise, but the subtext often reveals the opposite. They're trying to put you down in a disguised way. These types of compliments may leave you feeling confused and uncomfortable, wondering if they genuinely mean it or if there's some kind of hidden message. If you experience these backhanded compliments often, it might be a red flag that they're masking negative emotions. The person may feel jealous or resentful, but instead of being upfront, they hide behind sarcastic or passive-aggressive comments. One of the most painful signs that someone close to you secretly dislikes you is when they start gossiping about you behind your back. This behavior is often rooted in insecurity, jealousy, or unresolved conflict. When someone has negative feelings toward you, they might feel the need to talk negatively about you to others in an attempt to justify their feelings. A significant sign that someone close to you might secretly dislike you is when they show a lack of genuine interest in your life. If you notice that they rarely ask about your day, your plans, or your feelings, it may be a sign they've emotionally checked out. People who care about you will naturally be curious about what's going on in your life and will take the time to engage with you. However, if the person never seems to be interested in hearing about your life, or when you do share something, they seem distracted or uninterested, it indicates a lack of investment in the relationship. In some cases, this could be due to jealousy or resentment that they are too ashamed or embarrassed to admit. Psychologically, when someone withdraws their interest from you, it can be a sign that they no longer see you as someone they want to be emotionally connected to. In extreme cases, they may have started to distance themselves as a way to avoid facing their own negative feelings toward you. This can happen with friends, family members, or even within relationships. If you've ever heard rumors or stories about yourself from a third party that seem uncharacteristic or downright inaccurate, it's a clear sign that someone close to you is spreading negativity. The psychological explanation for this is simple. People who gossip often do it to make themselves feel better by bringing someone else down. This is a form of emotional manipulation, and it can be extremely damaging, especially when it comes from someone you trusted. Another subtle sign that someone might secretly harbor ill feelings toward you is when they dismiss your achievements or successes. You might share some exciting news with them. Perhaps you got a promotion at work or reached a major personal milestone, and instead of celebrating with you, they respond with indifference or even dismissive comments. Another sign of secret hatred is when someone starts keeping score of everything you do for them. Whether it's small favors or larger actions, they begin to tally up every time you've helped them or done something for them, expecting something in return. For instance, they might say things like, "That's cool, but I thought you'd do better," or "I guess that's nice, but it's not that big of a deal." This behavior suggests they may feel threatened or envious of your success, and rather than support you, they try to undermine your joy. This type of reaction typically stems from a deep-seated feeling of insecurity where the person feels inadequate or resentful of your accomplishments. Instead of being happy for you, they project their own feelings of failure or jealousy onto you. A clear and telling sign that someone might secretly dislike you is if they start making excuses to avoid spending time with you. Maybe they stop reaching out to hang out, or they constantly seem too busy to respond to your messages. In healthy relationships, whether they're friendships, romantic, or family-based, people make time for each other. They show effort and care. But when someone no longer seems interested in spending time with you, especially after a period of closeness, it's a red flag. It indicates that they may be withdrawing because of their growing resentment or hatred, and they might not want to be around you anymore. Finally, if you notice that someone close to you is constantly quick to criticize you, it could indicate that they secretly harbor negative feelings. Constructive criticism is one thing, but when the person starts pointing out every little flaw or mistake you make, even when it's unwarranted, it's a sign of deeper emotional issues. Psychologically, this type of behavior suggests that they are viewing the relationship in terms of a transactional exchange rather than a healthy reciprocal connection. They may be harboring resentment or anger, and they use these credits as a way to justify their negative feelings. It can also point to a lack of emotional maturity or an inability to engage in the relationship from a place of love and respect. Psychologically, people who criticize others too much often do so as a way to assert control, express their dissatisfaction, or mask their own insecurities. If someone constantly finds fault in everything you do, it may be their way of making themselves feel superior while undermining your confidence. So, now that we've explored some of the key signs that someone close to you might secretly hate, how do you respond? First and foremost, it's essential to approach the situation with self-awareness. If you start noticing these signs, take a step back and try to assess the relationship objectively. Sometimes, people's actions are more about them than about you. If you feel safe doing so, have an honest conversation with the person. Address the behaviors you've noticed and ask them if there's something on their mind. If they are open to the conversation, it could help clear the air and possibly rebuild the relationship. On the other hand, if the person refuses to acknowledge their behavior or continues to be toxic, it may be time to reconsider the relationship. Trust and mutual respect are key to any healthy relationship, and if those are no longer present, it's important to protect your own well-being and emotional health. Remember, not all relationships are meant to last, and that's okay. So, to summarize, recognizing the signs that someone close to you may secretly harbor negative feelings, even hatred, is incredibly important for your emotional well-being. People don't always show their true feelings openly, and many times, their negative actions might be disguised as something else. However, by looking for the signs we've discussed today, like coldness, backhanded compliments, gossiping, lack of interest, and subtle emotional manipulation, you'll be better equipped to navigate tricky relationships and make informed decisions. Now it's important to remember that recognizing these signs doesn't automatically mean someone hates you. There could be other factors at play: miscommunication, personal struggles, or even their own insecurities. However, if you notice a pattern of toxic behavior, it's essential to address it. Having an open conversation, seeking therapy, or even distancing yourself from toxic individuals can be the best way to protect your mental and emotional health. I hope this video has helped you identify and understand these behaviors. If you've experienced any of these signs or have any personal experiences to share, please leave a comment below. Let's keep the conversation going. Sometimes, letting go of toxic people can be the best thing for your mental and emotional health. I hope this video helped you better understand the subtle signs of negativity in relationships. If you've ever experienced something like this, or if you have any thoughts to share, feel free to leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insightful psychology discussions. Until next time, take care of yourself.